So I'm just arrived at Dubti Hospital. This is the only national referral hospital in Afar region. It's one of the regions in northern Ethiopia, and here, because of the conflict, we know that many hospitals or many small health centers have been destroyed, and because of that, many people actually have to come to Dubti Hospital for treatment. And one of the major things that they actually handle is the cases of malnutrition. Now, according to the doctors here, malnutrition is one of the largest disease burdens that they have currently. And this is not just within Afar alone. This is actually around the whole of Ethiopia. So this is where many cases of malnutrition are being reported.
Welcome back to Africa Science Focus, the weekly science and development show from SciDevNet. I'm Michael Kaloki. Conflict and climate change have left millions of people in Ethiopia without access to food and water. Fighting began in the northern Tigray region in 2020, and the conflict spread to the neighboring Afar and Amhara regions. Health centers have been left devastated by the conflict. Meanwhile, the worst drought in 40 years has hit agriculture and livestock in eastern and southern Ethiopia. Around 8 million people have been affected, including 500,000 people who have been displaced in search of water, pasture, and healthcare. While the violence in the north has recently calmed, the United Nations Humanitarian Affairs Office says malnutrition rates are rising in the Afar region, with a 30% increase in hospital admissions of severely malnourished children in March and a similar increase in April. The UN says Afar region's Logia Hospital will now provide a stabilization service to treat severely malnourished children to help ease the load at Dubti Hospital. Our reporter, Halima Athumani, brings us more from Dubti Hospital.
So as soon as you enter the gate into Afar Hospital, one of the first things that is going to hit you is the fact that there are beds within the corridors. Within the corridors, you find mothers lying by their babies. Doctors are actually making their rounds right now to help these mothers who've been here, some for more than 3 weeks, some for more than 2 weeks, and they're all here seeking for treatment. And soon we'll be speaking to the doctor who is in charge of Dubti Hospital. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Dubti Hospital is the only regional hospital in Afar, and this is where everyone comes. Every case that has failed in different centers or what they call the stabilization centers within Afar, all the cases are sent to Dubti Referral Hospital.
The United Nations says communities in northern Ethiopia need fertilizer and seeds for the upcoming growing season known as meher. They also need veterinary vaccines and treatment drugs. More than 9 million people around the country need urgent assistance, but support organizations are desperately short of the fuel needed to deliver food aid, and many have been forced to reduce or suspend deliveries since late May.
My name is Dr. Mohammed. I'm acting CEO of the hospital. We expect malnutrition case increment starting from March till the end of the June, because between these months there will be no rain. We can say 90% are pastoralists, so they depend on their livestock. So whenever there is no rain and drought, the products that livestock gives will be decreased, such as milk. So that will affect the children and the household.
And the cases that come, in what conditions do many and most of these babies come in?
What we have seen for the past 3 months, from the total cases that we have admitted, 12% was mortality rate. Most of the patient deaths were due to severe complications like shock and complicated pneumonia and also diarrhea. So Malnutrition itself compromises the immunity that will prone the body to the different type of illness.
How is the health-seeking behavior of the community? Do people come as soon as they think their children are sick, or you think they come a little bit late?
Immediately they will go to the traditional healers. After that fails, they may come to health facilities. Some of the children that we are facing, they have scars on them, burn scars. When we ask them how the child obtained such kind of scars, they say, "Oh, yeah, we went to traditional healers, and they put some heat metals on them, and some will give them grass or something like that to medication, but that will fail. That will make the condition worse. And also, when the patient or the children come complicated, severely ill, then they start to seek health behavior. When the condition is mild or moderate, they will not seek. First of all, maybe due to the poor health-seeking behavior. Secondly, due to the distance where they live and where the health services are available. So, thirdly, the transportation system. There is no adequate transportation system in our region.
In a recent humanitarian report, we also read that, when some patients come here, they die within 48 hours of their arrival. Is this a fact that happens at Dubti Hospital?
As I said, most of the malnutrition cases, they come with complication, especially shock. That will be difficult to manage. Even though they give fluids and inotropic drugs, some of the patients will not respond. Try our best. Some will come with the terminal or end stage of the disease.
When we talk about the health-seeking behavior, many would say, maybe they are also just not looking at hospitals around them. Maybe to make our listeners understand how available are health facilities aside from this referral hospital within Afar region for many of these patients to go to.
So, where the pastoralists live, there is health posts. The problem is the health posts and the health centers are not functioning well. So if they go to the health center, they will not find adequate service. They will not find the service that will manage malnutrition. This patient should be referred. When they tries to refer the patients, the ambulance will not be available there. That's causing another problem. If it is available, the patient will arrive lately because from the beginning, the health-seeking behavior is poor. Then after they seek the health behavior, they may go to the health post, which is poorly functioning. After that, they will wait for the transfer. So there is a delay.
And when they get here, how easily available are these supplies for you, especially those that you use to treat malnutrition?
We can't say the supply is adequate. I remember we were out of milk, which what we call F75 and F100. We divided into phases. In the first phase, if they are above 6 months, we give them F75. If they age below 6 months, we give diluted F100. So we follow them there is a chart, which we follow the weight gain, the vital signs, the haste, everything there. We follow according to that chart. If the child is gaining weight and showing improvement according to the parameters, it's okay. If it's not gaining well, that's not good sign. We continue. If it is gaining fastly, that's not good. So it should be according to the standard. So we follow them through this. It may take 2 to 3 weeks to recover.
And when they recover, do you have repeat cases? And what are the kind of reasons that the mothers give for the repeat cases?
Yeah. After they recover, we write a letter to that health facility to register the child as outpatient therapeutic feeding patients. That health center will supply them with the plumpness. But some of the health centers, the problem is they don't have the plumpness. They may be run out of it, or they may not get the supply. The other thing, if the child is not the only child to the household. They may share it with him. That will cause the shortage. It should be given to the affected child, but the other children the older children or the younger child may share it. So that will not enough for them. So the relapse cases are there. We have seen relapse cases again and again.
Do these mothers get any kind of advice on what they should do when they get back home?
We counsel them, but they say we will provide what is available in the house. So we cannot give that's not available, that they cannot afford. So we counsel them. We say it's better if you do this, and give special attention for the younger children and for those. They say that we will do what we can. If we cannot do, we will not do. They say they are pastoralists. They don't have money on their hands. They may sell their cattle or goat or sheep. Maybe the market will be once a week. So after they sell it, they will not get such ransom of money, but they will try to sustain their livelihood by providing somehow a small amount of foods.
Maybe my last question is, what would you like the rest of the world to know about malnutrition in this place, in Dubti Hospital, in Afar region, in Ethiopia?
So the root cause is we have to have sustainable agriculture and pastoralist life. I remember when I was a kid, we used to pour a milk on the ground because it was full. Everyone, your neighbors, others in other community, they will have excess milks. So what do? They pour it on the ground and they get another fresh milk. Some people they think when I say I remember a single guy used to have 100 cattle. They say, I mean, sure, yeah, I remember. Even my father used to have 100 cattle. I remember. But now, if you ask how much your father has, I will tell you to be frankly 12. It is 12. That's what shows there is a continuous drought for the past 10 years in Afar region, and the worst drought is happening now. Last time was happened in 1994, around to Eastern Africa, for I think 40 or 30 years back.
Do you think this is because of climate change? I mean, many people are complaining about changes of weather and stuff. In your view, I know you're a doctor, but I'm just wondering, do you think it is because of climate change?
Obviously, yeah, climate change. I remember where only the cattle's horns was seen due to the tall grasses. Now, if you go everywhere in Afar, you won't see that grass. I remember there was 3 rainy seasons per year. Now, it's hard to get a single rainy season in a year. So it's climate change, obviously, and also the demography is changing due to political reasons, other things. The war is there. The people are neglected people who didn't get an attention. Much of the investment has not done in the region. That affects the people in the region and make them disadvantaged.
That's our reporter Halima Athumani and Dr. Yusuf Mohammed at Dubti Hospital in Ethiopia's northern Afar region, ending today's program. For more information on the food crisis in Africa, head to the SciDevNet website. That's www.scidev.net. And you can get in touch with the Africa Science Focus team by emailing podcast@scidev.net. Today's show was produced by Harrison Lewis with editing by Fiona Broom and Ogechi Ekeanyawo. Our reporter was Halima Athumani. I'm Michael Kaloki. We'll be back with you again next week. Africa Science Focus is produced by SciDevNet and distributed in association with your local radio station.